Competition not one, you in the desert, dead thirsty up against the hot sun. Okay, I could break it down like. Okay, I could break it down like whatever you want, or I could break it down like the loud the blunt. Competition not one, you in the desert, dead thirsty up against the hot sun. Okay, I could break it down like. Okay, I could break it down like whatever you want, or I could break it down like the loud the blunt. Okay, I could break it down like whatever you want, or I could break it down like the loud the blunt. I'm the motherfucker you don't wanna confront. Yo, where's Waldo in the back? All my dudes up front.
Yeah, man.
3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3.
Whatever.
It's whatever. It's whatever.
Sound off.
Whatever. 1, 2, 3 to the 4.
Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at your door.
At your door.
At your door.
At your door.
I did enunciate on this episode of Let's Break It Down. We got to enunciate. We talking about some smart shit today.
Yeah, that's true. We talk about smart shit all the time.
We're going to have some other shit sprinkled in. Yeah, this shit get deep.
Sprinkle me, man.
Shit is 150 years deep. So yeah, we're going to start off today with the Byron Allen versus Comcast Supreme Court case.
Okay, we can do that. You want to go on lay the brickwork and get it started?
Go ahead, you.
Nah. You lay the bricks.
I'm gonna brush over it because I don't really talk. We want to talk too much about everything at first. But there's a case going on. There is a Supreme Court case going on actually that's been in the courts for a while. That's involving Byron Allen, who's the owner of Entertainment Networks, owner of major networks. He decided to sue Comcast based on the Civil Rights Act of 1866, basically saying that everybody should have equal blacks, basically, because that's the only topic that was the only group of people that was being discriminated against at that time. Mm-hmm. That's important. So blacks should be able to have the same stake at having contracts as any other race.
He also said that was the first that was the first civil rights law on the books in 1865, and that's basically what he's challenging. That was like basically saying that all blacks should have, like you just said, the same fair ground as white folks and such to make money and XYZ. And right now he's trying to dispute that, basically saying that in the media and on his channel, I mean in the cable business, everything XYZ, that we're being discriminated against. We're not, So I think it's a big case. I think it's a very big, strong case that I think everybody needs to look into it for themselves to get their own perspective, get their own thought, because it's a lot of people are up in arms right now because they feel like it's gonna affect the laws moving forward for black people, so to speak.
Well, specifically, it's going to affect if you can bring it, if in further times you can bring it to court. So that's what the big deal is about it. If there is a but-for stance on it, then that means that you will have to prove 100% that it was because you were black that you were not accepted the opportunity. If it's not a but-for stance and they allow this case to proceed without that in the law, then that'll mean that he'll have to prove that some of the motivating factor to why they didn't accept his networks on their network is because he was black.
Because he's black.
So he doesn't have to prove the whole entire reason, which is important because I don't think you can ever prove 100% that somebody is discriminated against you because you're black unless you have them saying it outright.
Yeah, but I actually do agree with you on that facet. But also the one thing I do want to make point, and the big point is, he wasn't the one that brought this to the Supreme Court. He actually beat them in the courthouses already 2 times, and now they're basically challenging the losses that they got based on the ruling in the court books of they're challenging that, and that's why it's going to Supreme Court. So he has nothing really to do with it actually being brought to the Supreme Court. He's fighting something based like it feels to me like it's a grassroots fight, and
Well, he beat Charter twice. He only beat Comcast once. The first time he lost, and Charter challenged it, so he decided. Charter appealed it, so he decided to appeal the Comcast case that he lost the first time. So Comcast didn't win both; they only lost the second one, and then they appealed it to the higher courts. So I just want to correct that. But yeah, outside of that, absolutely, yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like he sued on the grounds of that though. So you have to be willing to take it wherever it's gonna go.
Oh, definitely.
Because that was what he sued on the part of, like the fact that they were violating that particular statute. So because they appealed it to the higher court, they automatically have to kind of challenge that statute. That's the stance they have to take.
They don't automatically have to do it, but they're doing what they got to do based on.
Well, the Supreme Court makes that ruling based on what they're gonna see it as.
That's why hopefully they just kick it under the rug and just be like, "All right, take y'all lost like what it is," and then hopefully we can start doing what we got to do. You know what I mean? Ultimately, at least in that lane. You know what I mean? At least in that lane that he's trying to pursue it in the XYZ. I do think it's validity to the fight that he has going on. Excuse me.
That's good. So I actually want to take that to a deeper level because this case is actually one of those cases where black people specifically are divided about why he's doing the things that he's doing. Some people are saying that he's doing it for his own personal clout and, his own personal, missing some dollar signs from these big media conglomerates. And other people think that the Comcast is being unfair and that they should be able to, shell out a couple of more extra stations for black-owned networks.
It's not even that. It was also mishandling the black networks that they had. As you were just watching, they had a big percentage in TV One. Everything they show on TV One is black programming. Like everything, all day, every day on TV One is old black shows. Like everything, old black movies, stuff that people don't really necessarily watch all the time. But that's all the programming on there. So you know what I mean. Like I don't know the numbers like really deeply behind that, but I can understand that. Like okay, like y'all got this channel, but like what are y'all really doing with it?
So supposedly they have a 40% stake in any channel that's brought to them. If they're gonna take any channel, they automatically get like a 40% stake in it. So that's what you're referring to, as far as the mistreatment. But the thing that's being challenged and the thing that people are all in a qualm about, I feel like is something that is timely. Like we actually need to set this in stone for modern times and what that means, because there wasn't broadcast media companies and things like that were portraying anything on television back when this law was written. And I also think that it goes back to the Dred Scott case. The reason why this law was written, let's take it back to a history. The reason why this law was written in 1865, but it was passed and ratified in 1866, is because of the Dred Scott case of 1857. And in the Dred Scott case of 1857, they didn't consider Dred Scott to be a citizen and therefore having the rights of other American citizens because he was property, or because he was the descendant of property, which is what it would translate to had they not written that law. The reason why I say that this is a time to start testing at least one section. This case is only about one section of that Civil Rights Bill or Civil Rights Act, and that's Section 1981. That's the only there's other sections to this bill. But the thing about it is that it's never been a precedent in the Supreme Court. If you go back to black folks being citizens, you can't go back to a Supreme Court precedent, because the last one was Dred Scott. And in the Dred Scott ruling, what it states in Supreme Court law is that black freedmen are not entitled to the same rights. They weren't included in the Constitution
at all.
So there was a law that was passed in order to combat that, but that's not done in the courts. That was done by Congress, who decided to battle the courts. That's two different. That's not. You know what I'm saying? That's judicial. Agree. That's judicial versus legislative.
I agree.
So I feel like there is 153 years later, we need to start bringing these cases up. It's kind of unfortunate that we have the Supreme Court justices that we have, because Trump pointed a few of them, but these things need to be brought up and brought into the light, because there needs to be modernized legislation that adds context to what those rights were about. Because if you check any other precedent, you're going to have to go back to Dred Scott.
I definitely agree. I think that a lot of the old laws and this, that, and the third, that stuff that's on the books needs to be right. It needs to be rewritten. It needs to be clear. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like we were speaking last, one of our other segments that we was talking about segregation and this, that, and the third, and I felt like because we have to write in a new law every couple years to vote, to me, I'm like, yo, why do I fucking feel like I'm a citizen? Ultimately, at the end of the day, if I gotta, every 8 years, we gotta rewrite that law in for us to have a right to vote. It's like, all right, let's be real about what's going on. Like, to me, that, you know what I mean? So, but that's like saying, I'm only bringing that up because I'm like, it's so much stuff, laws and such that need to be rewritten. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because life is way different now. You know what I'm saying? Again, we spoke about the electoral college. That's what we were talking about. And I'm like, yo, that's old. That shit is old. It's based on old stuff. Like let's rewrite all, like, because everything is different from when y'all wrote that law. Why are we still dancing around that law? So, like, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, because they haven't been challenged. Yeah. So that's what Byron Allen did. He challenged it being enforced. And that's the thing about, like, those type of laws. Like, when you have, like, civil rights bills and civil rights acts and things like that, you have to be able to enforce them. And because we don't have economic equality in America, it's very hard for people to go through litigation that are being underserved, you know, by the law. So, you know, it's one of them never-ending traps. So a billionaire had to step up. You could question his character or whatever, right, or the reasons why he's doing it. Right. But because he's doing it on the level that he's doing it, you know, it could be a good thing, or it could be something that sets us back and makes us really realize what kind of world we're living in.
I think we just gotta take a seat back, watch what's going on, but we just need to pay attention to what's going on. Like, ultimately, everybody that this makes a difference to, like, yo, stuff is going on, things is happening in the world, and you know what I'm saying, that's the type of things that me and my brother break down all the time. Like, the real underlying things that's really going on in deep, that's going on that people are not paying attention to. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we can stay on that, or we could...
No, we can get off that. I think that's pretty much broken down, man. I just wanted to give contextual to that, context to it, if we was going to talk about it, because, you know, it's a case where we need that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to bring those issues up on the table and really talk about them, because who's enforcing the things that they said we was going to get? Who's enforcing, like, 40 acres and a mule?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Which is also a part of the same bill.
The same exact bill.
It's also a part of, so who's enforcing that? Who's suing who to try to get that, you know? And I think a lot of times when they touch on those subjects, you know, it's all just for fluff or filler for somebody to get clout. But never has it gone to Supreme Court, as far as to my knowledge. Right. I could be wrong. But yeah, so that's all I wanted to say about that. Byron Allen versus Comcast.
Competition not one, you in the desert, dead thirsty up against the hot sun. Okay, I could break it down like, whatever you want, or I could break it down like the loud and the blunt. Okay, I could break it down like whatever you want. Or I could break it down like the loud and the blunt. I'm the motherfucker you don't wanna confront. Yo, where's Waldo in the back? All my dudes up front. Paper boys, baby, back with she no team. Steamroll your defense like me and Joe Green. In the Bronx, big shout to Ed and my man Gene. Can't forget Kid Labs or Mr. Papa Bean. Break it down like that. One for you, one for me, like when we breaking the stack. Break it down, break it down. Whether money or ass, catch me with a cake around. Pull up on the set, Rari riding shotty. Break him down fast like your boy doing karate. Competition not one, you in the desert dead thirsty up against the hot sun.
Led to the water contaminated with death. Girls in the world contaminated with sex. So-called leaders is prostituting they sets. No surprise that the world is infatuated with next. Not spitting silent for nothing. Revolution is thumping like Louis up on the trumpet of your heart. When your cousin crashed your mama car, two brutal chicks, he wasn't slumming. That's how you learn it, never paid to start fronting. Woo! Can I kick it or can I kick it? Beat ninja, throw a track up, I shred it terrific. Obituary over how I kill him with the writtens. Niggas say, ooh, the bitch is pumper just like a kitten. PTMG, you gotta fuck with us. AKA the trash rap gang diggers. Robert A-Town representer, I stay chillin'. Countrified nigga, beef country fried nigga.
Okay, I could break it down like. Okay, I could break it down like whatever you want. Or I could break it down like. Okay, I could break it down like whatever you want.
I dip dab in a place. Hold up, I dip dab in a place. This that jag that you drive out of space. This that gas that you buy out of state. Shorty got ass popping out waist. You can sit a glass on top of that plate. Well, I be out, I can't wait to spit. Always in my bag, got money in the bank. Always in my bag, got money in the bank. Deep in my bag, can't tell me when I ain't. I push it to the brink, till my checks need a brakes. Till I blow my nose with cashmere, wipe my ass with minks. People run these goals, Jerry pick these hoes. Chauffeur in that rose, I got that uncut. This shit got twinkle toes. Catering that blow, never came to these hoes. Catering that blow, never came to these hoes.